Vice President Kamala Harris will head to Chicago today, I believe, after a weekend of deadly violence in that city. Listen to this. 62 people were shot this weekend. 10 were killed. Now move on to New York City. At least 52 people were shot. New York City. How about that? Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, Republican from the city of New York, joins us now. This was a deadly weekend for Democrat-run cities. And you know what, Congresswoman? It's getting worse. That is my opinion. What say you?
Well, if you look at the stats and you see how our laws on the books are not being enforced, that is really the major issue here. In Chicago, 87% of those individuals who actually kill someone had, on average, 12 prior arrests. Here in New York City, if you look at 2021, you had 4,400 arrests for illegal firearms. And when you look at the conviction rate, only about 700 of those were convicted. As a matter of fact, 1,200 right off the bat, those cases were thrown out by prosecutors that refused to prosecute. So, you know, people talk about new laws, but the fact is we need to enforce the laws that we have. We need judges and prosecutors who hold them accountable. And in terms of Kamala Harris coming to town in Chicago, what I will say is Kamala Harris supported the Minnesota Freedom Fund that allowed an individual in September to be released back onto the street, and he ended up shooting and killing someone. So these woke politicians that we have at the city, state, and federal level need to get serious about law and order and making sure there are consequences for individuals' actions if they want to see this crime that's skyrocketing turn back into safe communities.
Now, the Vice President is making this trip. This is a pre-arranged trip. It was arranged before the terrible shootings of July the 4th. Now, is she being handed a job again, which she will find very difficult to do? I mean, she was handed the border job. That didn't work. What about this crime in the big cities?
Yeah, I mean, the vice president is completely incompetent. The president did task her with border security, and as a matter of fact, it's only gotten worse. We've seen human trafficking, child trafficking, fentanyl trafficking now becoming the leading cause for 18 to 45-year-old Americans dying. So to give the vice president another task, particularly one when it comes to crime and law and order, when we know that this vice president has been a soft on crime prosecutor, but in addition to that supported bail funds, urged Americans to fund these organizations that continue to bail people out of jail despite their criminal histories, I think is really the wrong approach here. But at the end of the day, this is what the Democratic Party has stood for. Lawlessness at our border, lawlessness in our cities, and you know, it's just absolutely outrageous that we continue to give this vice president more responsibility when she can't seem to do the things that she's been tasked with in the beginning.
It will be another difficult day. Another difficult day for the vice president, I believe. Congresswoman Malliotakis, thanks for joining us. Always appreciate it. See you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.